We got to catch up with the creators, makers, singers, players of that song.
Participants.
Yes. The Kings of Leon today. This is it was very exciting for us, Sam. We went to the hotel.
And also really exciting because we went to the hotel bar and I think we had a hunch their record label was paying for like the chat at the bar. So I think in this interview, you might catch us just ordering a couple of drinks because we thought, what could it be a better day? Meet Kings of Leon and have a free drink.
This is hours ago and a hotel bar with the Kings of Leon. Hey guys, thanks so much for taking the time to set the scene for everyone. We're at the bar here.
This is
looking
terrific.
out over the city. Do you guys want a drink for this afternoon?
Yeah, we can get Jess. Can we get a drink? Feel free to come in.
I'm going to have a Diet Coke with no lemon and ice.
I'm going to have a vodka soda with 2 limes.
Good work, Nath. I'll have a half Sprite, half Diet Coke in the one glass with a port chaser. It's called a port party.
I'll just have a beer. I will refrain from having a port party, as they're called. First of all, congratulations. When you finished this album, listen back to it, did you immediately know that you were going to sell a dirt load?
Not at all.
No, really had no earthly idea.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't.
I suppose it's a bit arrogant to finish and go, well, I think that'll sell 1 million.
Totally.
Yeah, there was a kind of, slight little undertone there. You could tell that when people would hear it, they would get a little more excited than they had at the previous stuff.
Is there a telling move? Like when someone's listening to it and you can see a foot go or a head nod or something, you go, good.
I swear to God, our record label guys high-fived after You Somebody when we let them hear it in the studio, so that was a pretty big sign. They liked it. Yeah.
That's good. We haven't wasted your money, guys. We've been doing something in here.
Totally.
Now, I heard that the guy that helps you sort of produce and mix the album, I was reading that he's a good mate of yours and he's a friend, and I read a quote some of it that one of you guys, I can't remember who it was, said he's good because he can keep it fun, but sometimes he'll tell us to stop playing wall ball and come inside. And do you have games that you use that you get as sort of just carried away with when you're in the studio playing a few games just to?
We have a full wall ball tournament.
Wall ball. We have a tournament with the crew.
It's like handball, but it's our own kind of thing. Like you stand behind a certain line and you hit a ball.
You have a serve line, and then you have a line where the serve has to bounce past.
Oh, yes.
And so you hit, the ball goes from your hand to the ground to the wall, and then out, and it has to bounce out far enough to pass the serve line. So because they made that rule just because I was so good at service that I would skim it across the ground, and it would touch that and come back and skim the ground, and nobody could return it. So they made a line.
You were like the Federer of wall ball.
Oh, my God.
But every record, we end up having to add new rules because the little bastard would just go out there and just practice one little thing. And then you play the tournament. It's like, okay, obviously we know you've been out here practicing. Like, you weren't in there taking you were out there practicing, you little lying bastard.
Well, as the younger brother, Jared, I mean, he's thinking back to earlier.
I just like the idea, that the biggest band in the world right now, while everyone thinks they're in the studio recording,
oh, totally,
you're out there perfecting your serve on wall ball.
And we're drunk. Our records could be so much better if we didn't play wall ball and if we didn't drink the whole time.
Well, as the younger brother, I mean, was there a finishing move that your older brothers would use on you during fights back in the day? My brother had the typewriter, which would involve pinning both my shoulders down and typing as hard as he can on my chest.
He pins them down with his knees. I've seen him do it still. He still does it. They live
What's
together.
What's he typing with?
He just go, "Dear brother, you're a jerk," with his hands as hard as he can, like punches. And then when he gets to the end of the line, he'd slap my face as if the old school typewriter was getting back to a new line.
Nice.
This is literally last week. He still has the power.
Still has the hand mark on his face.
No, Caleb used to do that whole knees on my shoulder thing when I was really small.
Yeah.
And I'm just super claustrophobic, so it would freak me out. But for the most part, neither one of the guys I don't feel like could take me until we got to like.
He was the devil. He finished every fight. Like really? He would throw knives, bottles of cologne, anything he could get in his hand to throw. He would throw.
I'm picturing quite a weird bedroom there, just with bottles of colognes and knives. I read in the paper this week that your choice of hotel one of your choices of hotel on tour was motivated by how close you were to a particular macaroni and cheese dish. Is that correct? Or is that just a restaurant?
No, but we usually have our own menus at hotels, and macaroni and cheese is one of the things. Like when we get to our room, we'll open up the menu book and there'll be a sheet of paper that says the Kings of Leon menu.
Oh yes,
really?
Yeah,
that's when you know you've made it.
Yeah.
Now Caleb, we're going to chat to him today as well, but apparently he's just resting the throat. I wondered. Now, say if we were super managers of the Kings of Leon, and we could get any person to sing for your band if Caleb was out. If you had to replace Caleb with any other band's lead singer, who would you go with?
Bearing in mind, with the Wiggles, they sort of all sing, so there is no lead singer. So they're probably out.
Can we use all of them?
I was thinking the lead singer of Creed, just to piss him off.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
I would love just to see Caleb fuming over there on the side of the table. Like, yep, that's your songs, buddy.
No, but
you wrote those lyrics.
We got K-Fed.
Yeah.
Bad luck.
You couldn't have the guy from Creed because it's got to sound different than Caleb. I'm just joking.
I hope Caleb is a podcaster of this show, and he'll be using the typewriter on your arm.
Yeah.
Well, they say that the bassist and the drummers have to, have been most in sync. Do you find you guys are most in sync? Say if you were playing team-based sports, are you guys normally teaming up the most?
Do you think we plan to both wear plaid button-ups today?
Yeah, you guys have almost worn the same shirt.
Yeah,
that's just
weird.
We're on the same page. It's show day. That's how I can tell it's show day, because
I would say we're the most in sync. We wear all white outfits and choreograph moves and have a little bitty microphone.
Happy hands, glow in the dark.
Is that the moment when we know that Kings of Leon's gone too far, when you have choreographed dance moves?
That's when we know we're hitting the stadiums.
But truthfully, bands do have so many choreographed moves. We don't yet, thank God, and we have refrained from going to that step. But literally, once you build such a big stage, you have to start mapping out, like, okay, Jared's going to walk up on this little platform right here.
You've got to do something with it. You don't have to be just looking down at sort of, red footprints that have been mapped out for a big rock and roll walk.
Guys, we've got to finish up with you, but we interviewed Chad Kroger from Nickelback last year, and he said he struggled coming up with lyrics, and that's why some of his lyrics are fairly bad. Right. That's
no bombshells thus far, I don't think.
Anyway, we didn't want you guys to fall into the same problem when it came to lyrics. So when we're walking into this very bar at the hotel,
because we're at the hotel bar, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but anytime we go into a hotel bar, we always laugh at the fact there's books in the hotel bar. Like, there's always these sort of weird generic books that I don't think anyone would ever come and just have a port party and read a book. But we found one on the wall here over there from the library, Australian Tapestries.
Now, we figured that there's some killer lyrics that you could get out of this particular book. Hamish has
tell us if this hits any sort of hot buttons for writing music.
Okay.
All right,
let me get my pen.
Okay. Hopefully, you're going to write a song about Australian tapestries.
We'd already planned on that.
Archie Brennan sets himself realistic but ambitious tapestry goals. So I guess he's sort of he's like a renegade in the tapestry world.
I just imagine Archie having curly red hair.
Yep.
Kind of bushy.
Yep.
Everywhere.
And someone coming to see him at his workshop, and then he's personal assistant going, not right now, he's creating, and him just in the tapestry room with all these threads just going nuts.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Buck naked.
Yep.
I wonder if we could have a tap off, though, with another tapestry. And
I think it would take about 4 months to have a tap off. It's not as immediate as a rap battle, but to have a tapestry fight would be a good
cricket matches last that long, and you bastards will sit there and watch that for 25 hours a day.
And here's the best bit. You could do it to revelry, because I think Australian tapestry fits perfectly.
Yeah. Definitely.
Will we see that at the concert tonight or at Sound Aid?
More likely Sound Aid.
They let us have this encore at Sound Aid. We're going to break that.
Doing Australian tapestry.
Yeah.
Guys,
well, don't thank us. Thank the excellent reading here at the hotel bar.
Great.
Thanks so much, guys, for coming in.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
That's awesome.